Welcome to the General Insurance Update from the Institute of Actuaries. I'm Tim Clark. I work as the Executive General Manager at IAG in the Personal Lines Division, and I'm also the Chair of the General Insurance Practice Committee. Well, it's certainly been a hectic year for us in the general insurance industry, hasn't it? We've all been focusing on the long-term trends arising from disruption and what data analytics can do, whilst dealing with the short-term challenges, the commercial pricing, CTP space, and amongst all that, the regulators and the politicians have taken an increasing focus on our industry as well. In the governance and regulation space, we've had to respond to APRA's reconsideration around the role of the appointed actuary, both in life and general insurance, and the General Insurance Practice Committee made a submission on that, and how we keep our stakeholders informed. APRA also removed the requirement for the external peer review to be mandatory. They still believe it should be adopted by most boards, and the response to that from a professional standards viewpoint is we've downgraded, or in the process of downgrading, Professional Standard 315 down to a professional guidance. With the rise of the NDIS, the requirement for thinking around long-term economic assumptions under PS 300, the liability valuation standard, requires a different form of thinking for the economic valuations and the economic assumptions we take out to 50 years. That's in the process of review, and you will see an update around that in February, March 2017. And the General Insurance Practice Committee has worked with many other parts of the Institute on a couple of really big topics that we've had to deal with. The impact of big data on the insurance industry, which was a green paper released by the Institute. The Productivity Commission review into the open source data and how data should be shared across society was a submission from the Institute. And finally, a watershed for us, a release of a climate change policy. This has a big impact on general insurance due to the increased frequency and severity that we're going to see of natural disasters. APRA questioned the role of the appointed actuary regime, both in the life and the general insurance industry. We worked together to come up with a harmonised position that sees our roles continuing, but under a self-defined actuarial function mandate. This is a great outcome for us. In the long-tail classes, and particularly New South Wales CTP, we've been shown to be disappointingly right. Superimposed has hit New South Wales, not in the average claim size, but in the utilisation and increased frequency of smaller claims. We've been working with the regulators to ensure the scheme achieves its original intent, and the actuaries have made many submissions on the way we can restructure it to achieve the aims. Submissions and inquiries on Queensland CTP and New South Wales Workers' Comp were also received, showing the continued respect for our profession and our input to the regulatory debate. Further, the new economy, Uber and point-to-point transport in New South Wales CTP was another area where we were instrumental in helping guide policy decisions. With regard to continuing professional education, we've run a number of major events, the biggest being the General Insurance Seminar held down in Melbourne recently, and also the Managing Extreme Events, where we touched on topics from cyber risk to managing natural perils. And it just shows the range of topics actuaries have to be over to give great advice to our stakeholders. Data analytics. Actuaries, we've always been data scientists, but many others are moving into this space. We must continue to maintain our relevance by showing our understanding of the holistic system in which the data arises, the way we can ask the right questions of the data to ensure that the advice we're giving to our stakeholders is the most relevant and the most precise we can get. We have continued to maintain our presence on the International Actuarial Association, with one member attending the meetings either by video or in person, and also running a lot of conferences with our American colleagues up throughout Asia, where our presence is very important. Looking forward into 2017 for the committee, it's going to be equally as busy. We've got to focus on disruption. Disruption comes slowly until it hits, and then it's awfully fast, and if we're not prepared, then we'll be in big trouble. The General Insurance Practice Committee will make sure that we're educating and giving you advice and information to help us all manage our way through here. Further, general insurance and natural disasters. The way climate change is going to hit us in increasing frequency and severity of natural perils and the impact on the communities we serve remains a focus and will be part of 2017. And the big event for 2017 is the Injury Scheme Seminar that takes place in the latter half of the year. A great chance for you to find out about the professional issues that are going on for the injury schemes, and also a networking event across the profession. And I just want to remind you, you can keep up to date. The Actuaries website has videos, presentations of all the sessions we've run in the past, and we continually update with all the new ones. The Actuaries newsletter and the Actuaries digital website keeps you informed. I'd like to make a special thanks to the General Insurance Practice Committee. They contribute a huge amount over the year. Of particular note, Mary Poon, who keeps me on the straight and narrow and keeps the logistics and the running of the committee smooth. Thank you, Mary. So you've heard about the wonderful work we do on the committee. I'm also making a call out to you to get involved, either on the committee or in working groups. You get a wide exposure to the topics that we discuss across the general insurance industry, probably outside your day-to-day activity. A great chance for you to learn and a great chance for you to contribute to the profession. I urge you to get involved.